Hey YouTube friends, welcome back to Life Released. Here we talk about life and death and everything in between. So today I want to talk about what we can do when we are in a funk or when we are in a dark place and we kind of feel like we're not using our creative minds and we feel lack of motivation, maybe a little bit of boredom, and that starts a snowball effect. And I'm here today to show you a couple things that I like to do, things that have helped me creating something beautiful. I think in today's society, we no longer are using our creative minds to create art or poetry or to create music. And although some people are naturally gifted, we all have the potential to be artistic as well as being our own healers through this process. So I just kind of want to show you activities and things that I like to do that have helped me become more satisfied and fulfilled with times when I have some downtime. We should constantly be keeping busy and being productive, and not necessarily productive in a sense that we have to be working or cleaning or anything, but keeping your mind focused on something kind of helps us get out of an anxious episode or, like I said, boredom. So a couple of things that I started doing was trying to play music. I am not from a musical background. Nobody in my family plays an instrument, so I had to gain inspiration from people that I enjoy watching, music that I enjoy listening to. And one thing that called to me was this drum. Now, this drum is actually called a djembe. It's an African drum. And I'm actually going to be getting a shamanic drum soon. And that I like to use for meditation. Something that is a steady beat and easy to play. A shamanic drum would really be helpful, and I'll show you guys in a different video just how beneficial a shamanic drum can be for meditation. So this is a djembe, this beautiful handcrafted djembe. So what I do is I find a video on YouTube that has a drum in it, and I try to follow the person playing the drum. I try to follow it here. So it's like I'm playing with somebody, and that's how I'm kind of learning. But it's so, I mean, you just find a rhythm and you kind of zone out. Do it in a dark room and just blast that music, and you just rock out with your drum. And after that, it's like a spiritual awakening that I have playing this drum. It's really, really, really beautiful. Another thing too, speaking on meditation, I know we all know what a singing bowl is, or a meditation bowl, or a Tibetan bowl. I have become very enamored with these beautiful bowls, and not only are they just gorgeous to look at, as to have as like a piece for people to look at, and there's other ones that are even more stunning than this. There's just so many different varieties that you can get. So when you are feeling anxious, or you kind of just need to create a different vibration, I believe this is brass, this singing bowl is. So basically what this does is it just creates a vibrational connection to your body with the sound waves. That vibration is supposed to stimulate a sort of like a rewiring, if you will, in your own body. Because if you think about, our body is mostly water. And if you can imagine what happens when somebody has like a glass of water and they have that opera singer and she's singing, and you see those ripples, you know, on the water surface, that's basically what this is doing to your body. So depending on what pitch, what frequency, and how you're hitting the bowl. It really is aligning and readjusting these vibrational impulses that are happening in your body, because cells communicate through chemical and vibrational exchange. So if you're having some imbalance, this could help by getting it back in alignment by simply using this bowl. And you can instantly just feel the vibration. And people use this for stress, anxiety. It's also been known to lower blood pressure. It increases circulation. Some Reiki teachers also use it to decrease pain. There's just a lot of uses that a singing bowl has. So with this mallet, it kind of gives a softer sound. This mallet is if you want to make a more vibrational, loud sounding noise. And of course, if I hit it, the sound is more intensified and the frequency goes up and the vibration goes up. So meditating with this, fantastic. Flood my ears and just my body with just this beautiful sound. Amazing. I'm lucky enough that in my close to my town, I have a man who sells these, and every time I go in there, I want to get everything. I'm a kid in a candy store. So another thing I like to do, aside from using my djembe, I like to use these maracas. And look how beautiful these are. And you just kind of an artist that I like to use these with. Her name is Janet. If you guys Google or on YouTube find shamanic music, it's so easy to play along with these. But Danit, it's spelled D-A-N-I-T. She is just a goddess when it comes to shamanic healing music. If you guys know anything about shamanism, you know that if you're doing ceremonies, music, the Icaros and such really play an important part on taking you on this healing journey. And her voice, Janet's voice, is just, I wish I could bottle that, because I would be taking it often, because it's better than any pharmaceutical medication you can take. It's so healing for me. So if you guys are interested, try to find her on YouTube. She's just really, really amazing. So I just, before I go any further, I also just want to say, if you are in a little bit of a funk, try not to engage in activities that are just going to make your feelings just go further down the toilet. So if you're feeling bad about yourself, don't go on social media and start looking at all these accounts that are showing, you know, their great vacations that they're on, or the new car that they bought, or the bag that they just added to their collection. Basically, don't go looking at a Kardashian's social media account if you're feeling kind of shitty about yourself, because that's only going to make you feel worse. And just know that a lot of that is not reality. I mean, I know that's their life, but that's not everyone's reality. So if you're looking to that to make you feel better, it's not. They're living their life, you're living your life. And it's difficult, if you are looking at something like that, to not judge or feel like you are comparing yourself to them. You should never compare yourself to anybody, because they're them and you're you. You are unique in your own ways, and you are unique in your own needs. Somebody else has different needs and wants, and their character is able to adjust and adapt to different situations, but that necessarily might not be you. There's so many artists, celebrities rather, who have skyrocketed to fame and fortune, and their character, their ability to adjust to that new way of life, being in the spotlight, totally destroyed them. So be careful what you wish for when you ask for, you know, fame and fortune, because that sometimes could be a curse. We're all here walking our own path, and we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to somebody else's path, because we are totally different. So just know that you are walking your own path, and you are fine just the way you are. We just have to figure out what it is that's going to be making us happy. And by comparing ourselves to somebody else, that's not going to work. That's just emotional cutting, so to speak. You're just going to make yourself feel worse. So another thing that we can do to kind of distract our minds when we're feeling kind of crummy and kind of in a dark hole, going with the theme of creating music, is painting. You don't have to be Picasso or Da Vinci or whoever you like, Monet, Frida Kahlo. I love Frida Kahlo. I think she is brilliant, amazing. You don't have to be one of those superstar painters. You kind of just create what you want. Now, I'm in no way creative. I did this in about 10 minutes just because I just felt like my head was in a weird spot, and I was gonna continue trying to add to this, but I felt like, you know what? I like it being simple this way. Maybe I will add some words somewhere, and so like words of encouragement, and sort of stick it on my wall, like something that's when I'm feeling a little bit melancholy. A nice little reminder to myself to just keep dreaming and keep getting up every day, you know, ready to seize the day and be your best version. So I'm just trying to pick out what's one of my favorite quotes to put on here, but I thought that was kind of nice, you know, kind of just a little simple moon. So I'm not artistic at all, but I just, you just kind of do it. There's a lot of cheap supplies that you can get at your craft store. You don't have to get the best paint. You don't have to get the best brushes, but you just get the basic stuff just to get you started. Using creative energy like that, because if you're feeling rage, maybe you're going to be using like red and black and, you know, bold colors. If you're, this day I was feeling kind of mellow and a little melancholy, so if you can tell, that's why I was using these blue colors. It got my mind off of whatever it is that I was feeling, and afterwards I felt like I had released that blue energy into that drawing, and it made me want to do more. Just let your emotions sort of guide you, because I think that's what these artists do. That's where they get their inspiration. It's just what they're feeling inside. That they use that as their muse, and it's really beautiful. And if you just really don't feel comfortable with painting or using music as a way to express any feelings that you have, you've heard this so many times, is journaling. I always have a journal with me just in case I have just a thought that I want to jot down, or if I'm going through something that's just, I can't talk to anybody, but I really want to get it out. Journaling is so therapeutic, because you can say whatever it is that you want. No judgment. Nobody's going to be criticizing you. This is going to be for you. These are your words. And you can go back when you're ready to reflect on what it is that you were feeling at that time. You can go back and read the words that you wrote. So this is just a good way to go back and reflect on how you felt afterwards, and what did you do afterwards to feel better, or just was it writing down your feelings that made you feel better? So that's a good thing. Also too, I know I can't reiterate this enough, drinking water. I think sometimes if we don't have our digestion and our immunity and all that in order, we're not going to feel good no matter what we do. So just making sure that you're drinking plenty of water, and eating clean. I'm not going to suggest you eat one way or the other. Just be mindful of what you're eating. If you're eating fast food for every single meal, chances are you're not going to feel good. So try as much as possible to do your own grocery shopping. And if you could even grow some of your food, that's the best case scenario right there. And also too, we need to stay active. We need to move around a lot more. We need to get our circulation and our respiration up. I know you guys hear me talk about, I call it the cold plunge. I jump into my pool, and it's about, I'm not exactly sure how cold it is right now, but it's probably, for some, they probably think, oh, that's nothing. But for me, it's pretty chilly. That is about 70 degrees, 65, 70 degrees, somewhere around there. I dive in there and I do a couple of laps. And when I come out, I just feel so rejuvenated. So yes, and also read books. If because I'm telling you, don't go on social media when you're feeling crummy about yourself. Read a book, something that will teach you something. Because I think when we're scrolling on our phone, it's mental masturbation. You're kind of just trying to distract yourself. And if you need a distraction, and if you can't read a book, because I can't read a book when I'm feeling a certain way, like my brain it's just too distracted. And one thing that I enjoy doing is watching a documentary or a movie that has meaning to it. So not like a slasher or an action movie, something that is heartfelt. I just watched Beautiful Boy with Steve Carell. What a great movie. It talks about addiction and how it affects family. And maybe I'm sure we all have that one friend or family member that we could kind of relate to, that kind of has like a destructive presence in a family. So it's just it was such a good movie. So I recommend Beautiful Boy. Something that gets you more in touch with what it is to be human, with feelings and emotions. We're human. We all go through our ups and downs, ebbs and flows. Our emotions are like a roller coaster. But it's what we do with those feelings that are important. That's what matters, is how we deal with that. And we're not just lashing out or throwing in the towel and saying, I'm giving up. Like, this is too hard. Life is tough, but we still have to show up and, get our shoes dirty and walk in the mud, because eventually we're going to be in a better place. One of my favorite topics, death. I've worked in hospice. I've been in healthcare for many years. I think that we need to be a little bit more aware of our own timeline, because that's what it could be, a motivator or something that's depressing. But again, that's what we do with negative information or with negative feelings. What we do with that is what counts. Being mindful that we are mortal, we're on a timeline, is important. I think because we could use that information to motivate us or to depress us. And hopefully you are motivated by that fact. But Caitlin Doughty is a mortician, and she, I believe, has her own funeral home. But she really is so knowledgeable on the topic of everything death. And I know you're probably thinking, like, what is she? Why do I want to talk about or watch somebody talk about death? But really, knowledge is power. And once you knowledge is power, and once we can be really open and honest and be comfortable talking about death, it really gives you a little bit more freedom to be happy with your life, because we're not suppressing the scary feeling, or we could understand it more, and that's beneficial too. A person that I like to watch on meditation, her name is Tara Brach. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. She's just a lovely soul, wonderful, soft-spoken, gentle, beautiful woman, and I like her for meditation. For yoga, I recommend Banana Blondie 108, I believe, or Yoga with Adriene. They're both beautiful, phenomenal ladies who are just fantastic with their yoga practice. And as far as if you just want to listen to some good music, if you want to get into the zone, as far as chanting music, a beautiful soul, her name is Satnam Kaur. Amazing, beautiful, angelic, and her music is about chanting, and it's just amazing for meditation. Like I mentioned Danit, but if any sort of shamanic music for me that I search on YouTube is beautiful. And I just want to remind you that whatever you do, just remember that any feeling, negative or otherwise, is temporary. So I'm giving you these suggestions because we just need to get through that little hump and just know that it will pass. And once it does pass and you're able to read a good book, I recommend getting some of these books, plants and herbs, because you don't realize how many plants out there are really good for if you're gonna do like teas or soak them in essential oils. It's nice just to have a knowledge, and it would just be fun for you to see if you have any of these in your area. You know, there they are for free, just growing in the wild. And another one I recommend, if you're going to be growing your own vegetables, the Encyclopedia of Vegetable Gardening. And it really is, it's just so telling you step by step how to care for plants. And one I think I've already showed you, maybe not, is the American Indian Healing Arts. And this has herbs and remedies on different oils or herbs or teas. Maybe if you want to do a little ceremony at home, a little fire ceremony. I don't know if you guys can see, I have a little fire pit back there because I like to do fire ceremonies. And if you're using some of these herbs, it kind of just like burning sage, but this goes in depth on other things that you can use. And it's really nice. You kind of you feel like you're connecting to the earth more that way. As far as food, I want you to consider doing a little bit more plant-based meals. Like I said, because I want to get your digestion going. So any way that you can get more fiber into your diet is best. I recommend this book by Meg. She's actually a phenomenal chef who works at a retreat center that focuses on plant medicine and yoga, breath work, just so many different things that just cleanses your mind, body, and soul. Another one, if you want to be a little bit more of a daredevil and do like baking and wow your friends with creating just these really colorful plant-based meals. She's kind of a badass in the kitchen, hence the name Vegan with a Vengeance. Chandra, there's some nice pictures in here, and the internet is full of free resources, but I just like to encourage people to buy books or ebooks just to support these people, because they really are brilliant. And they're putting all this knowledge into their heart and soul and knowledge into these books. So I think we should be more supportive of one another. Books that I just like to read for fun. I don't know if I've mentioned my love for John Steinbeck before, but this is one that I'm going to be actually reading, Travels with Charlie. But I've read so many of his other books. My favorite guy, Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. All his books are fantastic to encourage you to experience these feelings that you're going through and receive them and let them go. You don't own them. To not hold on to that grudge or to that anger or to that frustration. You can experience it, you can acknowledge it, but let it go. Poetry is something that I've recently gotten into, because poetry really is a way to express an emotion, and it really just hits you in the gut and you feel it. And Rumi is my favorite poet ever, and this one actually is called Soul Fury, Rumi and Shams on friendship. And talk about, if you guys want to read a little history, if you like to Google people, Google Rumi's history with his friend Shams. I mean, talk about a crazy situation. Some of his poetry, it's very powerful. And just like music, lyrics from a song that you love, that's poetry, and it hits you in your heart, in your soul. Other kinds of books that you can read are books on emotional intelligence, just how you react to somebody else's bad behavior, or how you carry yourself in this crazy world is so important. And also too, things on how to be a leader. If you want to be an entrepreneur, run your own business, and if you're not used to that, it's nice to get words of advice and encouragement. It can be tough. Any advice from others that you can get is going to be beneficial. I really just want you to understand that you are more than capable of getting yourself out of a funk. We need to go back to realizing that we are our own healers. Nobody knows us better than we do, so nobody knows how to get us out of a funk or a bad situation. It's nice to talk to people, to bounce ideas off of one another. Maybe they've gone through that similar situation as you, but ultimately nobody knows you more than you do, and you are the one in charge of creating your life and your future, and just making sure that on that path of where you need to be and where you want to go is important. So don't get discouraged. We all have bad days. We are all human. We all go through our ebbs and flows, but the important thing is that we just continue moving forward, and to not be afraid. We need to be less worriers and be more warriors. And every day we just got to wake up ready to face whatever challenges there is, because it's only going to make us stronger and better in the end. So don't lose faith, don't lose hope, and reach out to somebody if you really are just struggling, if you can't get out of that hole on your own. And just know that I'm here for you too. I am available, Life Released. Find me on my website, here on YouTube, and Facebook, Instagram, wherever you can find me. There I am, because I am here, your #1 personal cheerleader. I'm here for you because I know the struggle, and the struggle sometimes is kind of hard, and we need that shoulder, that friend to lean on. Okay, so thank you guys for sticking around for this long. I know this was kind of long-winded, but there was just a lot that I wanted to get through, because there's a lot that we can do. I think sometimes we forget. Okay, so guys, have a blessed day, and I will see you again on the next video. Peace.